Given my topic, I kind of wish it was about French literature, like Carol said, because it's about cancer, but okay. Don't start timing yet, please. Okay. I have lost a loved one to cancer, and I know I'm not alone. By a show of hand, how many of us here today have either lost someone to cancer or know someone that's struggling with cancer? Thank you so much for sharing, and I'm really sorry about everything you're going through. And I would like to take a couple of seconds to show our respect and solidarity. According to the World Health Organization, cancer is the leading cause of death in over 60% of the countries worldwide. Half of these numbers are accounted for by Asia alone. We're talking 20 million people diagnosed with cancer, 10 million people dying of cancer every single year. Unfortunately, cancer is one of those diseases that doesn't discriminate between a baby, a child, a parent, a friend, or even a pet. It is so aggressive and mutates so much against the traditional treatments that most of them are rendered futile. Majority of the anti-cancer drugs work by interfering with organelles or chemical pathways, so it doesn't really target the cell as a whole. The problem with this is it ends up getting rid of everything in sight, good and bad cells alike. This leaves cancer patients often tired, weak, and with low quality of life, not to mention forcing their loved ones to slowly watch their transition into the person, slowly forcing their loved ones to watch them transition into a shell of who they used to be. Now, I'm not here to talk about, I'm not here to play the game of chance with pathways and organelles. I'm here to get rid of cell as a whole, with a literal bang. Imagine if I were to tell you that the secret to curing cancer or getting rid of it is crystals. And no, I'm not talking about crystals that people claim can tell you the future, or ones that if you walk around with a moonstone, it can heal you in 4 to 5 days. I am talking about tiny, teeny crystals that are not even visible to the naked eye. Let me walk you through my process. I take these crystals and then I wrap them up in a coating that cancer cells really like to eat, like you can see over here. Once these crystals are taken by the cell, I shine light, which causes the crystals to explode, rupture the cell, and cause it to die. At this point, you're probably wondering, Wujud, are you really talking about making many explosions inside my body? And how can you be so sure it's only the bad cells? Well, the answer is quite simple. That coating I just spoke of is so specific, it can only bind to cancer cells. Think of it as a lock with only one specific key. My work is founded on the same principles surgeons use when they're tackling a tumor. They go in and they remove the tumor and the surrounding tissues. I do the same exact thing, but on a cellular level. I get rid of the cell so that it has no chance to mutate against our treatment. To put things in perspective, in the 3 minutes it took for me to deliver this talk, 35 people passed away of cancer. It's one of the fastest growing diseases, and unfortunately we're in dire need of things, out of the box thinking and groundbreaking research such as my own. And today we're fighting with crystals that actually work. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Well, that was a great example of a how to cure cancer talk that was just wonderful. So thank you so much for that. So, Wujud, tell us a little bit about yourself. So where did you grow up? Where did you go to college?
I grew up here.
Okay.
Born and raised in Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi, all right.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are on the same boat. I went to school also in Abu Dhabi. My family is originally from Egypt, but they've been in the Gulf for over 30 years due to trade. So yeah.
And where did you do your undergraduate work?
Abu Dhabi University.
Abu Dhabi University.
Your neighbor.
Yeah, excellent, excellent.
And competitor.
Excellent. So this is so interesting to me. It seems like it's a Trojan horse kind of a strategy.
Exactly. That's exactly what we're thinking of. We want to sneak things in and get rid of it.
So did you read Homer as a kid?
I just bought a copy recently in the sale in the bookstore.
Very good. It's really worth reading the Iliad for sure. So it's so interesting about the light. So why is it that how does the light activate the crystals and cause them to explode?
Okay, so the mechanism behind this is you have these crystals which have a particular structure. So once you shine the light right, it undergoes a chemical reaction, right? And this chemical reaction, basically what it does is it causes so much stress in the structure that the only way it can release it is by explosion, by exploding. So yeah.
Yeah, fascinating. So tell me something about yourself that your advisor doesn't know, your supervisor doesn't know.
Until he sees this recording, he doesn't know that's the presentation I chose to present. I have multiple projects, so.
I guess so. Wow.
This one is my baby, so.
So is this going to be your doctoral dissertation?
Hopefully, yes.
Hopefully, yes. How many years do you have still?
I only have a few months to go. Woo!
All right. And then where do you plan to go after that?
I am not sure yet. Maybe academia, maybe the industry. But you know, I'll go with the flow.
Seems like you have a lot of options. So thank you very much, and we'll move on to our next talk.